All right, guys, so these problems are actually not that bad. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with a couple more. We've got only 4 more, so we're almost done. It says Andres completed a 5 kilometers race in 13.5 minutes. His sister's time was 1/2 as long as his time. How long in minutes did his sister take to run the race? So this 5 kilometer race is actually not something that we need to work with, okay? Because we know that that's just the length of the race. What I'm really wanting to focus on is the minutes that he took, and then it's his sister took how long. So if he took 13 5/10 of a minute, his sister took 1.5 time as long. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and multiply this out. And what I'm going to do here actually is I can either convert this into a fraction, or I can convert this one into a decimal. I'm honestly going to convert it into a decimal just because I know that 1 1/2, that's 0.5. So 1.5 is going to be that half. So I'm going to do 13 5/10 times 1 5/10. Alrighty. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and multiply this out. 25, 15 is 17, 6, 0, 5, 3, and 1. And I'm going to add it up. Okay. And so what I get here is I actually get 2,025. But remember, this is a tenth, this is a tenth, so that when I do a tenth times a tenth, my answer should be in hundredth. And it's going to be 2 25 hundredths of a minute. Or sorry, yes, minutes. Okay, so this is where I would look here. So 20 minutes is what she has, but how many seconds would that be? And when I think about it, guys, if I wanted to turn this into hundredths, I would turn it into 100. And actually I can keep that because it's 0.25. So it doesn't, I don't need to go ahead and convert that down into seconds. So what it did was she took 20 minutes and 0.25 of the seconds. So this is what your answer would be is his sister's time. Okay. Now if they wanted you to know in seconds, then you could go ahead and convert that, but we already have that full minute, so we don't need to worry about that. But that is all that you need to do for that one. It says a clothing factory uses 1,275 2/10 meters of cloth a week to make shirts. How much cloth is needed to make 3 3/5 times as many shirts? So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this number, and I want to know how I can do 3 3/5 times as much. This is a decimal, this is a fraction. You've got to figure out what you're going to do. Honestly, when it comes down to the decimals, what I would rather do is go ahead and convert that into a decimal. And when I have this 3 3/5, I need to remember that when I do this, I either need to turn it into a tenth, a hundredth, or a thousandth. So to turn that into a tenth, I'm going to multiply it by 2, and I'm going to basically get 3 6/10. So to convert that into a decimal, it would be 3.6. Okay, so I've got 1,275 2/10, and I'm going to multiply it by 3 6/10. So just remember that this is a tenth times a tenth, so that means that my answer needs to be in a hundredth. So when I put my decimal form down here, it needs to be in that hundredth form, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do 12, 31, 42, 43, 44, 45, 12, 16, 7, 0, here's a 6, here's my 5, regroup my 1, 21, 22, carry my 2, 6, 8, and then 3, okay, 2, 7, 0, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, carry the 1, 4. Okay, so I get 459,072. And when I go ahead and put this into my decimal form, it is actually going to be, I'm going to put my decimal because it needs to be in the hundredth. It's going to go right there. So they need 4,579 and Oh, I put an extra 7 in there. I don't know why I put that extra 7, trying to look at that. 4,590 and 72 hundredths cloth is what they will need. Okay. Honestly, guys, when you're looking at this, the fraction times a fraction, I would honestly, if you could, convert it into that decimal, and it would just save you a little bit of a headache, and it would actually give you a lot more making sense of exactly what we would need.